Hey guys, so I wanted to start sharing some of the testimonials that I've been receiving from clients, but also from folks in the audience who I've been interacting with over email, whatever it is. So this is Marcus. He's a fellow agency owner. He was nice enough to give me a real nice testimonial about how my content and some of the stuff that we've been speaking about in private has helped him completely turn around his campaigns. I cut some stuff out of respect for his privacy and his business, of course, as I would always do. But it was just a really nice conversation that I just want to have documented on this channel. Of course, I made sure to receive his permission. Of course, we also had a really long, like hour plus conversation. I helped him craft a really juicy, no brainer 2.5K offer that he's now pushing, and really help him moving along. But in this conversation, you'll hear him talk a lot about the challenges he was having, and then also the specific results he was able to start seeing, more so in terms of the progress of his campaigns and his success as an agency owner. So thanks again, Marcus. Hope you guys enjoy.
I mean, even in that week, I've been going through, especially the 7 hour, the 7 hour course video you did. Yeah, I mean, it's been only maybe a week or two. I discovered you on YouTube. I don't even know how I discovered you on YouTube. Maybe I was typing in something to do with AI lead generation or cold email, because I've got a cold email agency as well, doing something very, very similar to you. That's why this has been so beneficial for me, because whereas there's lots of people online that maybe are talking about lead generation, but maybe they don't specifically have a cold email agency of their own. They don't quite have the finer details of the little bits and pieces that you had mentioned that were just so perfect to my current situation. Like little things, like even at one point you were talking about the difference between doing like the Loom call campaigns versus the lead magnet campaign versus just the direct campaign. That thing was really important for me, because I've been in the same dilemma myself. I've been testing all these different methods to basically run these campaigns, and just hearing from yourself saying, oh, you didn't want to do the lead magnet campaigns because it's just like it was a lot of effort. People would be greedy, you're saying, isn't it? And they would take it. I've been dealing with that a lot. So hearing you share that you've been now pivoting to just doing direct, little nuggets like that were really helping. But I mean, even still, I can tell you things I've done. So for example, one thing I've done is my cold email actual copy in the first place, it was just way too long. It was just way too long. And I started looking at your one, and I liked the way that you had kind of got more to the point a lot sooner. And so as a result of that, I started to basically do a kind of a similar fashion again. Me just get straight to the point a lot sooner, be a lot more specific, because like it's nuances. Like I was doing a lot of the things you're doing, but the nuances, like for example, you were talking about, rather than just saying leads, say what specific like leads you're going to be getting them, rather than you're trying to contact business owners. It's like you're saying that the hiring managers, these little specifics are the little things that I've started to implement into my cold email campaigns as well. And I'm noticing that different results as a result of doing that. Even like things like you were talking about, like getting the volumes up. I've been trying to get I'm about 500 a day. But you're talking about, it has to be 1,000 a day, or it's not even worth it. So things like that were interesting for me. I mean, one of the major things that I pinpointed that I was doing wrong is the targeting. My targeting, like, you're talking about general, B2B SaaS. Yeah, that was me. I was just basically doing B2B SaaS. It was even worse than that. It was just like IT. When you go to Apollo, you just literally have a IT. I was literally just doing IT, thinking that should be okay. Now, after hearing you, realizing that I need to really get deep down and specific. So now I've gone to like software development companies specifically. And even then, like I'm doing a little bit of the lead qualifying and, scoring, because I saw that you were doing it on the Clay workflow. I'm doing that on the Clay as well, to make sure that even though I put software and things like that into Apollo as keywords, even after getting into Clay, now I'm starting to use the prompts to basically say, okay, go through that, tell me which one of those are bespoke software development companies, and then tell them it's breaking down that list even further to like almost sometimes 25 to 30% of it. Which made me realize that if I was contacting the rest of them, I'm not going to get a positive reply. Because it's not relevant. Because when you go through them, they're like platforms, or they're like, some SaaS website that basically is only selling a subscription at a cheap price, which I'm not going to be able to really be relevant for them, isn't it? If I'm charging thousands of pounds for, services. So these little nuances that I've been picking up on has really made a big difference on my campaigns. And obviously also like talk about the money side of things as well, you know, you spurring on, seeing your progress so quickly, it made me feel like, okay, fine, and let me just follow suit and kind of do similar things. Like you said, like Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, should be able to move through those different patterns. And it's definitely motivated me to like, you know, step it up and, you know, go ahead and actually start generating more money, you know. I did about 3 or 4 case studies for some people. It was a 90-day campaign. I did get some good results for them, but since then, I haven't really been pushing those case studies hard enough. That's another thing that you mentioned, like the success multipliers. That was another big thing I took away from your videos. The success multipliers might have been one of the factors as to why I was having a hard time closing people on retainers. Because I realized I didn't have any. I've got a YouTube channel, I've got TikTok channel, I've got all that there, and I haven't put any videos out yet. And I'm realizing, like you were mentioning, that the success multipliers is that I need to start putting out some YouTube videos just to be able to be, you know, differentiate myself from all the other agencies that maybe aren't doing that. You understand? So, all these little things that you had mentioned have just been really improving my game, I feel, in terms of, like, you know, the cold email agency.
Well, Marcus, I can't express in just in words how much I appreciate that, because I just, you know, today was video. I don't want to lie to you. Hold on. Today was video number 89.
Wow.
And it helps me. It reassures me that this stuff is helping people. You know,
Of course.
because for the first, you know, 60 days or so, when I would get like 0 to 10 views per video, this was just so that I could point my clients to something, or that when they would search up, you know, Pablo Melandu or Marcus, they'd find something.
Yes, of course, of course.
That's all this was ever for. It was never to, you know, build a newsletter or any of this. It's kind of it's a success multiplier, right? The cold email stuff, you know, between scraping leads from Apollo, Clay workflows, and just the copywriting, that is something you can hire someone that they'll know how to do it. But it's all the stuff around that. Like it's like okay, what do we do with the case studies? You know, how do we compete? How do we make it so that we're not competing with anyone? Okay, the success multipliers. You know, how do we structure offers to get people to actually buy them and they don't know us? Like, how do we do those things so we can actually get this thing off the ground and take it from a pipe dream into this actual thing, right? That's the stuff that, which is what I'm writing down. Like, that's the stuff that I find that people, number one, that takes anyone from 0 to hero. But it took me personally from 0 to hero. But I know the kind of support that I needed when I first started. It looks a lot like the videos and the emails and just calls like this. So I'm happy to converse with you in this way.
That's why I appreciate. That's why I wanted to give you this testimony, because I just really appreciate the fact that you just openly put it out there. Because I've been scrounging across the internet and listening to this guru and that guru and all these different people, and then it's most of the time it's behind a paywall. And even when you get through the paywall, it's kind of like, you know, they're still only sharing bits and pieces, because maybe they're trying to hold back some stuff. Like, you know, you mentioned about, oh, you felt like some people taught you some stuff, but then held back some stuff maybe because they didn't want to breed competition. You know where I'm coming from? So basically, I was just really appreciative that you just kind of revealed certain things that I still wasn't able to get from very popular YouTube gurus in the space. And you just kind of put the puzzles together, you know, for me. So that really was helpful.